Honest advice to anyone working past 55. Retire now. Are you still working past 55, believing you're being responsible and building wealth? What if I told you that you're actually running out of precious time to truly live your life? This might be the most important wake-up call you'll ever receive. Here's a shocking truth. Most people don't retire too early. They retire too late. They wait until their health starts failing, their relationships crack, and they can no longer enjoy the wealth they've accumulated. Think about it. You weren't meant to grind for the rest of your life. You were designed to work for a certain period, then enjoy a whole new phase of possibilities. Even Warren Buffett, who famously works well into his 90s, says he doesn't consider what he does work anymore. He calls it his playground. The difference? He transitioned from working because he had to doing what he loves because he chooses to. Most people never make this critical shift. I recently met a couple at a business conference who shared their story. Both were successful executives planning to work until 70. But after Mark's unexpected heart attack at 62, they discovered that all their carefully accumulated wealth couldn't buy back his health, or the years they'd lost focusing solely on career success. This was their harsh awakening. Today, I'm going to share why leaving work after 55 might be the smartest decision you'll ever make, and how to do it without fear or regret. If you stay until the end, I'll reveal a simple but powerful framework that's helped thousands transition from career success to life fulfillment, something the wealthiest people understand but rarely share. If you're wondering whether it's time to make this leap, type "ready" in the comments below. Now, let's dive into why your next chapter might be your best chapter. The first reason most people stay too long at their jobs is the comfortable structure it provides. I understand this deeply. The meetings, the routines, the sense of purpose that comes with showing up every day. But here's what nobody tells you. This structure can become a prison. I remember John, a former bank executive who worked until 72. He told me, "I stayed because I needed somewhere to go each morning, people to meet, problems to solve." But when he finally retired, he realized he'd been using work as a crutch to avoid discovering who he truly was outside his corporate identity. The Japanese have a concept called karoshi, literally death from overwork. While extreme, it illustrates how work structure can consume us so completely that we forget how to exist without it. The irony is that the skills you developed at work, planning, organizing, leading, are exactly what you need to create meaningful structure in retirement. Richard Branson once said, "Business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming." The same applies to creating structure in your life. You can design morning routines that energize you, weekly activities that fulfill you, and monthly goals that excite you, all without being chained to someone else's agenda. The wealthy understand this. They don't retire from structure. They graduate to self-designed structure. Think about Bill Gates. After leaving Microsoft's day-to-day operations, he created an even more meaningful structure through his foundation, focusing on global health and education. Start small. Begin creating structure outside work now. Join a weekly group, start a morning ritual, or commit to regular volunteer work. You'll discover that the structure you crave doesn't require a corporate badge. When you realize this, leaving becomes less frightening and more liberating. Now, let's explore why chasing your old version of success will actually hold you back. The second major barrier keeping people at their jobs past 55 is chasing an outdated definition of success. For decades, success meant climbing higher, earning more, accumulating titles and accolades. But in what I call your discovery years, this old formula becomes toxic. I met Sarah at a retirement planning workshop. She was 63, still grinding away as a senior VP because she couldn't imagine life without the status and salary. 2 years later, after a health scare forced her to retire, she confessed, "I spent 40 years climbing the wrong mountain. Success for me now is watching my granddaughter take her first steps, not closing another deal." There's profound wisdom in the Buddhist concept of beginner's mind, approaching life with openness and eagerness, free from preconceptions. When you cling to old measures of success, you block yourself from discovering what truly matters in this new phase. Consider what happened with Andrew Carnegie, one of history's wealthiest industrialists. At 65, he completely redefined success from building steel empires to giving away his fortune to establish libraries and advance education. He famously wrote, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." His greatest achievements came after he stopped chasing conventional success. Success in your discovery years might look like mastering a new skill, deepening relationships, improving your health, or contributing to causes you care about. It's no longer about accumulation. It's about contribution and connection. Ask yourself, if money and status weren't factors, what would make you feel truly successful? For many, it's having the freedom to pursue passions, the health to enjoy activities, and the time to nurture relationships. These can't be measured in dollars or titles, but they create far deeper satisfaction. The wealthy retire from jobs, but never from growth, learning, and contribution. They simply redirect their energy toward what truly fulfills them. How would you define success if money weren't the scorecard anymore? Drop a word or two in the comments. I'm genuinely curious what matters most to you. This brings us to the dangerous assumption that you'll figure it out when you get there. The third critical mistake people make is assuming they'll naturally transition into a fulfilling retirement without planning. This "I'll figure out when I get there" mentality has derailed countless retirements. At a community event, I met Robert, a retired engineer who spent 35 years solving complex technical problems. Yet he found himself completely lost 6 months into retirement. "I thought retirement would just happen naturally," he admitted. "Instead, I felt purposeless. Started watching TV all day, gained weight, and eventually went back to work because I had no idea what else to do." The ancient Greeks had a word, telos, meaning purpose or end goal. They believed that without a clear telos, humans drift aimlessly. This wisdom applies perfectly to retirement planning. Without intentional design, even the most successful people can flounder. Warren Buffett's business partner, Charlie Munger, who worked productively into his late 90s, often spoke about the importance of preparation. The best thing a human being can do is to help another human being know more. He spent years before traditional retirement age building systems to share his knowledge, ensuring his later years remained purposeful. Research from Harvard Business School shows that people who plan their retirement activities at least 2 years in advance are 60% more likely to report high life satisfaction. The planning isn't just financial. It's about envisioning daily life, relationships, activities, and personal growth. Start planning now. Create a retirement vision board with specific activities, not just travel destinations. Identify skills you want to learn, relationships you want to deepen, and causes you want to support. The clearer your vision, the smoother your transition. The most successful retirees don't retreat from life. They advance into a carefully designed next chapter. Speaking of which, let's explore why retirement should be viewed as a rebirth, not a retreat. The fourth mindset shift that transforms retirement is seeing it as a rebirth rather than a retreat. The word retirement comes from 1550, meaning to withdraw or pull back. But in today's world, this outdated concept can be deadly to your spirit. I once heard Oprah Winfrey speak about her retirement from daily television. She said, "I didn't retire from work. I graduated to a higher calling." At 59, she launched OWN Network, started new philanthropic initiatives, and began what she called her life's next great adventure. Her energy and impact actually increased after leaving the Daily Show. In Japanese culture, there's a beautiful concept called ikigai, your reason for being. It sits at the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be valued for. The Japanese believe that discovering your ikigai is essential for a long, fulfilling life, especially in later years. Consider Colonel Sanders, who was 65 when he started franchising Kentucky Fried Chicken. After his restaurant failed, instead of retreating, he saw it as an opportunity for rebirth. He traveled across America with his pressure cooker and secret recipe, eventually building a global empire. His retirement years became his most successful. This rebirth mindset completely changes how you approach leaving work. Instead of asking, "What will I do without my job?" you ask, "What possibilities can I now explore?" Instead of fearing empty days, you anticipate filled calendars with chosen activities. The wealthy understand that retirement isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing everything that matters to you. They see it as graduation to a self-directed life, where every day is an opportunity for growth, joy, and impact. I'd love to know, if you could wake up tomorrow with complete freedom to pursue anything, what would you choose? Share below. Freedom. Sometimes writing it down makes it feel more real. This brings us to the powerful realization that you already have everything you need for this next phase. The fifth breakthrough insight is recognizing that you already possess everything needed for a fulfilling retirement. After decades of solving problems, leading teams, and navigating challenges, you've developed skills far more valuable than you realize. At a leadership conference, I met Linda, who at 58 was terrified of leaving her corporate marketing role. Who am I without my title? She worried. 2 years into retirement, she was using those same marketing skills to help local nonprofits reach more people. I realized I wasn't leaving my skills behind, she said. I was finally using them for causes I truly care about. There's an African proverb that says, "When elder dies, a library burns to the ground." Your decades of experience, wisdom, and capabilities are invaluable assets that don't expire with your employee ID. The challenge isn't acquiring new skills. It's recognizing how to repurpose what you already have. Ray Kroc was 52 when he met the McDonald brothers and 59 when he opened his first franchise. He used every skill from his previous career as a milkshake machine salesman, relationship building, systems thinking, persistence, to build a fast food empire. Nothing was wasted. Everything was repurposed. Think about your core strengths: problem solving, relationship building, strategic thinking, mentoring others. These translate beautifully into retirement activities like consulting, volunteering, teaching, or starting passion projects. You're not starting from zero. You're building on a foundation of proven capabilities. The most successful retirees don't see themselves as former anything. They see themselves as experienced individuals redirecting their talents toward personally meaningful pursuits. Now, let's explore practical steps to make this transition with confidence. The sixth key to successfully leaving work after 55 is taking concrete actions that build momentum toward your transition. Theory without action leads nowhere, but small, intentional steps create unstoppable progress. Start with an energy audit. Lisa, a former healthcare executive, mapped where she gained and lost energy at work. She discovered that mentoring young professionals energized her, while endless budget meetings drained her. In retirement, she became a SCORE mentor for healthcare startups, keeping what fulfilled her and eliminating what depleted her. Next, practice retirement activities while still working. Jack Welch, former CEO of GE, started teaching at MIT before fully retiring. This test drive helped him realize that sharing knowledge was his next chapter's focus. He went on to write bestsellers and become a sought-after business educator. Create conversation opportunities. Schedule monthly lunches with successfully retired colleagues. When Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen left day-to-day operations, he spent time with other tech pioneers who had transitioned successfully. Their experiences helped him envision his path into philanthropy and scientific research. Begin journaling about fulfillment. Not success, not achievement, fulfillment. What moments make you feel most alive? When you lose track of time. What activities leave you energized rather than depleted? Maya Angelou wrote every morning from 6:30 a.m., discovering that writing gave her life meaning beyond any accolade. Start a new habit weekly. It could be meditation, walking, painting, or calling an old friend. Jeff Bezos instituted puttering time in his mornings, unstructured time for thinking and exploring ideas. This practice prepared him for life beyond Amazon's daily operations. Most importantly, align with your partner. If you're married, ensure you're rowing in the same direction. Regular retirement vision conversations prevent the common scenario where one spouse wants adventure while the other craves stability. Create a shared vision that honors both perspectives. These aren't just tasks. They're experiments in designing your next chapter. Each action provides data about what your ideal retirement might look like. The wealthy don't guess about their future. They prototype it while still working. As we've explored today, the decision to leave work after 55 isn't about escaping something. It's about embracing the most potentially fulfilling phase of your life. The real question isn't whether you can afford to retire, but whether you can afford not to. Remember, the most successful people don't view retirement as an ending, but as a graduation to self-directed purpose. They understand that true wealth isn't just financial. It's having the time and health to enjoy what you built and the wisdom to use it meaningfully. The discovery years await you with possibilities you may not even imagine yet. Every skill you've developed, every relationship you built, and every lesson you've learned that prepared you for this moment. You're not leaving anything behind. You're taking everything valuable with you into a new adventure. Don't let fear of the unknown keep you grinding away your precious years. The saddest stories I hear aren't from people who retired too early, but from those who waited too long and lost their health or relationships in the process. Start taking small steps today. Audit your energy, begin journaling about fulfillment, and have those crucial conversations with loved ones. Design your next chapter instead of defaulting into it. Remember, this isn't about retreating from life. It's about advancing into the life you've always deserved. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe for more insights on making your next chapter your best chapter. Share in the comments below what's keeping you at your job, passion, or fear. Your answer might help others recognize their own truth. The time you have left is the most valuable asset you possess. Use it wisely, use it joyfully, and most importantly, use it on your own terms. Your discovery years are calling. Will you answer?